I was muted.
Yeah, you were. Welcome.
Woo.
Yeah. We're not the people that are usually here.
We can put Brendan in, right? Why is he out?
Oh, because usually they introduce him as our permanent guest, but
Our
here he
permanent
is.
guest, Brendan.
Hey, what's happening?
Ta-da.
What'd you do,
What?
Sean?
What did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, off the record, I sent a brick. It was a lucky dog brick. I have a lucky dog brick right here. This is a brick from Sir Morgan Coe.
This is serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this is my copy. I mean, I put this in the Xerox and I sent it over to Ed, and he's like, "I'm done. I'm out."
That's it. Final straw.
Yeah. So,
Can you believe it?
Well, thank you, I guess.
I also this is a brick from the Paris Cinema.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're building a collection.
Got bricks on bricks.
Yeah.
Mairead, my wife says, "Hey, you should mark these so someday when your kids are older, they can throw them out for you."
I was just talking about commemorative bricks with somebody. I've got like a living room full of commemorative bricks. Like this is actually a thing. Like when capital development, like people give bricks away as like a souvenir.
Sure.
I had to clean up my mother's house last month. I've got like a living room. I could build a small shed out of bricks with all the
commemorative
bricks. Worst gift idea ever. It's like don't just abate your refuse like a normal person.
But how meaningful would that brick wall be once you build it with all those memorial bricks?
Honestly, no more meaningful than any other wall built out of 68-cent bricks from Lowe's.
But they have a plaque hot glued to them. They're important.
So I to be honest with you, I did not look at the agenda because when I usually look at the agenda, some breaking news happened, and I've been a little distracted.
Well, funny you mentioned that. Does everyone watching know what happened today?
Yeah.
Ed Augustus is announced he's stepping down as city manager effective May 31st.
Yeah, because he was tired of listening to this show.
Yeah,
Right before the 300th celebration.
Yeah.
That's the part that kind of stood out to me.
It's because then he would have to actually talk about his age.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old is Ed?
300.
Wow.
299. Yeah, no, I did. Jess says the agenda's thin. It didn't look like there was much in there. Again, your normal hosts at this point are both held up at different points.
That's fine. We're better hosts anyways.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
There's a couple things that they have going on tonight. I know there's an executive session that they have involving the town of Holden suing Worcester. Apparently, we've been overcharging them millions of dollars in sewer fees. So you got that. Yeah, what else?
We're going to try to get him on, Brian.
All of Holden or the city manager?
No, well, Ed after he's done. Sorry.
Oh, totally.
So Holden is going to do what?
The city Holden sued the city back in 2013 because apparently they shit a lot and we charged them for it. What else do you got here? A bunch of petitions to remove resident permit parking.
Yeah.
We have a suggestion that the front doors to City Hall not be locked after City Council meetings so as to not lock anyone in the front foyer. I'm guessing there's probably a story that goes along with that. Maybe we'll hear about it tonight.
It was Rascot woke up from a nap.
It was the last person in the building.
Woo!
See, we got some employee health plan discussions, a land deal with the reservoir. So we're going to buy 132 acres of Holden for the reservoir, which is actually great. I love the idea of slowly taking over neighboring communities just by buying them up under the guise of public services.
We're annexing Holden?
Yes, we are annexing 132 acres of Holden for $700,000, which is roughly the price of like a garage in Holden. A hell of a deal for Worcester.
Hell of a deal.
And a big notice that we're going to start sweeping the streets in April. So yeah, exciting meeting tonight. And on top of all that, we're probably going to have 4 hours of eulogies for the city manager.
Yeah, it's going to be a walking wake.
Do you think it's going to start tonight, or do you think we're going to wait until May?
Oh, I very much think they're going to talk about it tonight at like.
How could they not?
Yeah.
They have to at least bring. I was saying this to some few folks today that I think it's incumbent upon L2 and Christian in particular to begin articulating what they would expect. Let's pretend as though we're not going to open up a charter commission and go strong mayor, and that we're actually going to have a good faith city manager search. It's incumbent upon those folks to start bringing up what they would like to see in a next city manager, and that has to happen tonight or not at all.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the story that we're working with right now of why the city manager left is thin at best, and that there's a lot of stuff that still needs to come out and hasn't come out yet that we need to get our hands around, because this is like
inner circle pause.
Yeah, we need to start using our inner circle pause, because honestly, this is like a very weird thing to do, right? I mean, like, it's one thing to say I'm not going to renew my contract, but this is a very sudden departure, and I don't believe that it's over the chief diversity officer issue. I don't think that's it at all. I think that's a smokescreen he threw up in the press release to be like, this is why I'm leaving. And I already had a very interesting phone call that I can't publicly talk about yet as to what the real reason might be. So,
I know online a lot of folks are playing the game of who knew first. It was mentioned to me almost 2 months ago now that there's literally a calendar on the city manager's desk that every day he's been like Xing out the days as they go by. And there's been a date in April that was like marked off. And it's everyone in his office that spends time in his office has been saying, hey, what's up with the calendar? And like with the obvious, like, well, it's a countdown, guys. But
I'm not a reporter, so I can share unfounded rumors that I heard.
Yeah, text it over to Sean, Bill, and let him.
Well, no, but
you actually have some.
I heard an unfounded rumor that who our new superintendent may be.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
inside the house type of job.
Yep.
Oh fuck!
It's 10 steps in the wrong way.
Oh no!
It's
just say it. Just say it.
Stacey Du Bois Luster.
I don't know who that is.
No kidding, really?
A person who's never taught. Let's put it that way. She's never taught a class. She's but she has her PhD in education, so she's an expert. And it's not a good hire. But rumors are now soon to be former city manager wrote one of the recommendation letters.
Interesting.
That's great.
As did Tim Murray and someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
That might have been something they decided at the Economic Development Council, which is just as important as this Twitch stream.
Clearly. Or maybe it was at the Worcester Club.
Yeah. Also,
Nice.
Equally as important as this Twitch
Did you get
stream.
your invites yet? We're inner circle. Did you guys get your invites yet?
Yeah.
Here, before they go live, GT Automotive asked a question. Any guesses on who would replace him? Is it way too early for any of that?
Oh, Eric Batista.
Eric Batista. 1,000%.
Eric Batista. They're gonna use this chief diversity officer thing to roll him out like the new savant of dealing with race issues, and it's gonna be like smooth sailing. You know, he'll be the interim for a year, and then they'll give him like a 3-year contract. We're not going to seriously think about it in any real way, and it's going to be great. Yeah. But that's Brendan was right to say that the left flank of our council needs to be like sort of articulating a stronger demand than that right now. Absolutely needs to be doing that. But we'll see if they actually do.
Also, I know it's a hired position, but I am running. I'm starting my campaign tonight. I'm running for city manager. So I hope I have all of your fake votes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Give me a lawn sign.
They're happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have somebody to design them already?
I mean, there's someone I was going to reach out to eventually.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Perfect.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago too. That I couldn't see his name mentioned anywhere, but starting with what was it, the school resource officer report, that was the night I think Eric Batista was kind of introduced to the world, and his name was mentioned at least 450 times by every counselor and whatnot, and his name has been floated as an intern for quite some time now.
Eric Batista.
Eric Batista. He's so handsome.
Yeah. I did send over the agenda for you folks too. I don't know if that's worth anything.
Yeah, the agenda honestly is pretty light.
Yeah, it really is.
Holding stuff.
Yeah. And do you have any idea if that executive session is going to go first or last, Bill? Or I still feel like
it's up to the mayor whether it gets taken out of order or not.
Yeah.
They do have to convene in open session before going into executive session.
Okay.
So we will have a heads up at the top of the meeting if that's what they're going to do. It'd be nice if they did it at the end, but we don't always get our way in that regard. So we'll see.
All right.
Travis, are they live here or?
It just shows the screen.
Okay. Yeah. So they're not live yet.
Ed's giving his big locker room speech to everybody first.
He's slapping a lot of butts.
Travis, every once in a while, absolute gold.
I don't do nothing.
All right, I gotta help with bedtime, so I'll be back.
And since nobody else mentioned it, this resignation has been brought to you by Crafty Kombucha.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Crafty kombucha, the only ethical consumption under capitalism. The foil to City Manager Ed Augustus's plan to destroy Worcester. And we love it, folks. We love Crafty kombucha.
Yeah, delicious. I went down and picked up some on Saturday.
That's sick.
Oh, Matt makes it so easy to go pick up kombucha. Like you can order it online and drive down and literally drive up, pick it up, and be on your way.
Just pick it up right from the shop?
Not even. Yeah. It's great. My lady friend's making
and
cocktails.
White is in the chat. Ben, what are you hearing about the manager leaving?
Bum, 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 ba-da.
Glasses and stickers. Yes, definitely need stickers for my glasses.
Join us in dancing on Ed's grave. I'm tweeting about the Twitch stream. Join us in dancing on Ed's grave. We love it. We love to see it. We did it, guys. We did it. Ed Augustus, the real reason why he's leaving is because he saw all of us as being equals in Sarah Connell's eyes in the inner political circle of Worcester. And he just couldn't take it. He's like, I did all this work and these assholes. Oh, it might have been the roast. Could have been the roast. Could have been he just couldn't handle it.
The burns were too real.
Dave Batista as a city manager would be absolutely fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be awesome.
We're
going. Cool.
I have it. Oh, so I have it muted. So
okay,
they're doing the national anthem.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling about all this extra daylight in their chambers.
Yeah, you don't normally get to see the gargoyles during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug Arbiter. That's exactly what happened.
Absolutely blasted him. Yeah, this is pretty huge shakeup. I mean, between getting a new city manager here and we're losing Petty as the mayor one way or another. I guess maybe we're not losing Petty as the mayor if he loses the state senate election.
No, but I mean, the idea that they're the two biggest executive roles in the city, for superintendent and city manager, you're going to have parallel searches going on while your mayor is running for state senate.
The city.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
I mean, who's in charge when our next COVID wave comes in April and Dave Bautista and Gary Rosen are arguing or are fighting over control of the city?
Yeah, right. Oh my God! Imagine Gary Rosen applies to be city manager. He totally would.
We'll do a roll call.
Councilor Burton,
Here.
Councilor Caloria,
I have a better rumor than
Councilor
that.
GA,
Here.
Councilor King,
Here. I
Councilor
genuinely
Carlson,
thought Sean had the same rumor you
Councilor
did,
Yan.
and I was going to get.
Councilor Rivera, Councilor Rose,
Here.
Councilor Russell,
Here.
Councilor Toomey,
Here.
and Mayor Petty.
Here. Okay. I think this.
That's who the
recognizes
moment
what
of
happened
silence was
today
for.
at the start of the meeting, and well, I say congratulations to the manager. And
Here it comes.
Time to recognize, as we discussed, and also we have plenty of time to develop a process over the next couple of weeks, and we can do that over the next few weeks. So, thank you. Okay.
I like that Joe said congratulations. So does that line up with your
To adopt.
thoughts, Bill?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Maybe like
I'm waiting on the arrow.
maybe like congratulations on this not coming out yet,
Still in cold.
Okay.
or like resigning before this comes out,
Public
sort of deal.
participation, a
Got
person
it.
may speak for no more than 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
I had just a small
any
pocket of
item
cash on
appearing the
WPI.
agenda.
So
So that's your name, item
Oh,
number, your
no.
residence.
That's not what I heard. My rumor is quite
I wanna
lurid.
speak on 13A.
Did your name and city of residence?
Oh,
The record?
sorry. Idola has it, City of Worcester.
this is
I'm
who got
glad
locked
that
in
this
the
is
building,
being
apparently.
Brought up again, and
Oh, okay.
gives us a chance to say one more time that
She was here last week.
It really is.
She gave the mayor some
necessary
sass.
That we go over this.
Oh, yeah.
again and again and again until we get it right.
She can't even find her starting place.
But I did want to say, in spite of the fact that this has been 300 years of systematic racism, we have 60 some years of civil rights. In fact, if we go further back in history, there was civil rights passed
Yeah, maybe
like-
the Red Sox will hire him.
hundreds. The civil rights in the 60s.
What were you going to say, Brendan?
I feel like Bill is trying to tell us
has
something with his
been
sweatshirt
more
tonight.
effective.
Coleman.
And
Yeah.
the fact that we had
Imagine.
somebody so significant.
I'm gonna be the city manager in Plymouth and move the
so
ballpark
recently.
there.
It makes me think that maybe it is racism, obviously.
Maybe it is
We
racism,
say
obviously.
people have a right to free speech. However, people do
Squeebo,
not
he's
have a right
he's full of energy.
to
Yeah.
harass anybody.
I've always gotten
On the
along with him
job.
really well. I actually would definitely
racially
label Bill
or
Coleman as cool.
Sexually.
Definitely old school,
And
but
if
very cool.
they
Yeah.
are,
I got a random
Um,
call from him one time where he was pitching me
they
on
need to
building a
be
website and a digital museum
reprimanded,
for some factory that was in
maybe
Framingham.
suspended, maybe it needs to go up the board. But we cannot allow that as
You can't seem to get elected though.
free speech.
No, he
A
doesn't
while
play the
back,
right
I mentioned
sort of
that I didn't
set of
think
rules.
that city employees should be allowed to
Yeah, kind of was Squeebo.
join the Ku Klux Klan. And somebody said that's freedom of speech. They're they're known. I think.
She just shushed the mayor.
Can you wrap up your comments? I do
Okay,
time, yeah.
Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up because that is not.
She just
freedom of
pointed at a
speech.
clock.
The Ku Klux Klan
Oh.
is a known terrorist group, and
Okay.
I think that we should be checking that out, and that if people fear going to work because they're going to be harassed
Okay,
because
thank
of
you.
their
I
race
appreciate
or
it.
sex, I
Come on,
think
please.
that needs
I
to
think
be
we're good.
needs to be
Thank you.
Thank you.
You just rained on our parade. We're celebrating the end of our friend
Name and city
here.
of residence?
Fred Nathan, 13A. We've been hearing now there's racism for how many years? 300 years. Rome
Is he
was
gonna
not
talk
built
about
in
the
a city.
KKK?
That doesn't excuse it. But if there is racism, it will be taken care of. If there are neo-Nazis, and we know there are, they will be taken care of.
Yes.
Will
Rome
they?
wasn't built in a day. I know people
They
want
literally both
everything
said
now,
the same
but we're not going to get it now.
idiom or
We've
whatever.
got too many
Idiom.
other things going on in spite of anything that may be going on.
These guys are
here in
having
the
a very,
city,
very, very
and in the
passive
state,
aggressive
and in this
relationship
country,
fight
in this
through the public
earth.
comment at city council.
We've got a war going on, and we're about to be dragged into it full scale. The only matter of is if we do get dragged into it. So we got to pick our fights carefully. This nation has had a black president.
Bill Coleman
I
is
don't know if
having
anyone
none of
has
this.
forgotten that we have a black
That
vice
face
president
means
right now.
everything.
Where is the racism?
Okay. Okay, anybody else?
Why, yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Hi guys.
Coleman, Worcester. 13A, I just want to touch base on one thing. We were brave. It was a courageous statement from a city manager when he said, let's look into the systemic racism that may have affected people's ability to get hired and promoted in the
I would
city
too,
of Worcester, and
Steve-O.
let's go back. And I just want to remind this council that two police officers fought for 27 years. They took a test to become sergeants. They passed the test. They did everything they were supposed to do. But because of a policy and a practice
But still with a collared shirt.
more than almost 28 years ago
Good fit.
in the city of Worcester, they never got the opportunity to serve as sergeants on the Worcester Police Department. And I filed a petition asking that the one police officer, Sergeant Tatum, who is alive, the other police officer passed away in the middle of this 27-year fight, that this city hold a ceremonial, a ceremony to give him his stripes. Recently, we held a ceremony to elevate some police officers to that of sergeant, and I watched that whole proceeding, and I was very proud of those officers. They did everything right, and they got promoted. And yet, we're denying another insult to the continued issue of systemic racism, Sergeant Spencer Tatum, and we need to bring him back to Worcester, hold a ceremonial opportunity for him to receive his stripes. I think it would say a lot to the citizens of Worcester that we can look at what we've done in the past and create an opportunity to say we've moved forward. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody on?
You don't normally hear claps after the
Thank you,
comments.
Mr. Mayor. So we do have a few folks on the virtual platform.
Bill, what were
I'm
they
gonna ask that
speaking
if
to?
You're on the phone, press star
What item?
9 if you'd like to be
I don't
raising
think it
your
was.
hand.
I don't
And if you're on
remember what
electronic
item that
devices,
was.
please raise your hand.
13A is where he
Identify you.
started.
Yeah, but
So
that
we'll
wasn't
start with
like.
First
That's
phone
not.
number is 508. Give me 1 second.
Oh, I guess it includes 13A includes racial equity audits for the police and fire departments.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the first phone number I can identify is 508-414-6714. I'm going to unmute you now. So if you want to press star 6, we can begin your testimony.
Do you think we'll get a goodbye, Ed? See you never.
Okay, not hearing from that calling user. We're going to move on to the next person. I have Fred Taylor on the line. I'm going to unmute you now.
I'm just observing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Taylor. The next speaker is Kathleen Roy. I'm going to try to unmute you now.
Hi, this is Kathleen Roy from Worcester. I'm just listening, but I have grave concerns about 13A when there are so many other things in the city that need to be addressed other than what was put into the statement. That's all.
Okay.
That's an
the
all
next
lives
speaker
matter
is,
person.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Tara
Big
Arthur,
time.
I'm going to try to unmute Tara now.
I guarantee you there is a post on the Worcester Police Facebook page about
Yeah,
that is
observing, thank
prompting
you.
people to call
Thank
it.
you.
But no
Mr. Mayor, I
script.
think the last speaker you can identify is Steve. I'm going to try and mute
No
Steve
script.
now. Okay, not hearing for Steve. I think that brings us to the conclusion of public participation.
Wow.
Okay, thank you.
Short
We'll
one.
do petitions, then we'll go to the
Very.
Parks Department report.
We might be done before Brian's
That's
home
okay
from
with
work.
everybody?
Yeah.
So we have petitions.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to do executive session at the end.
Any item appearing on the agenda.
Oh, they're doing executive
8A
session
to
tonight.
8C, refer
Yes.
to traffic and
There is
parking.
one. Yeah.
Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 8D, until as the request of the council, request to advise main staff to back front doors of City Hall after closing city council meetings as not to lock anyone in the front foyer. Okay, we'll send that to the manager. All those in favor?
Okay.
Ordered.
Okay. Sorry,
run
we
this
locked
one
you in
by
the
people.
building.
We motion is to suspend the rules. All those can go to
Suspender room. Joe has a suspender room. He's that kind of guy.
hang on. What name was that? That was right here. 9.41A. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Transmit information communication relative to the report on a comprehensive review for this year's summer recreation
fair
safety
question.
initiative.
They kind of just did.
Great report. So I want to say thank you, and Councilor Rivera.
Not good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say, I think that one of the things that's really important is that in this report, when you read some of the activities, it's not really just looking at being reactive, right? There's an issue, and we really
Maybe
see
Kathy
that
Roy is
there's
Red
a
Metro
collaborative
West.
work in being proactive, and how do we really address the issue? They already, we've seen summers that have been very challenging, that have been very difficult. When we saw it even throughout the country, and I really can appreciate the effort that's come together to say, hey, this is coming, we've already seen, and being trying to really get prepared and working collaborative with community. This really shows a lot of what we've been talking about a lot of what we need within the community. Again, we may not be where we want to be, but it's really great to see that we're really moving in progress. And so I really appreciate this report. Thank you.
That was a succinct comment.
Okay, so
Yeah, I know.
That actually had a point from beginning to end.
The report it gives.
Mr. Chairman,
I feel like something is wrong.
She's wearing black.
thank
It looks
you. I
like she's
wanna
dressed for a
rise to,
funeral.
Also,
She's also dressed like a Black Panther,
just,
so I don't know.
share my thoughts and how happy I am with this report as well. Rec Worcester is something that a number of us are prioritizing.
Yes, I did get interviewed for the board positions. Waiting on anything from the city manager.
Lifeguard, swimming,
My
safety,
interview was
these are all
last
things
week.
that were big parts of our agenda, and I feel like most of which, if not all of which, was really incorporated into this plan. And
Oh, I took that
I'm really
image
happy
down.
about it, and I'm excited to see its implementation and see it carried through this coming summer. I think it's going to be really nice to share this with in a lot of our neighborhood meetings and a lot of our neighborhood groups. I think people are going to be really happy about this. So I want to thank everybody for their efforts in putting this together and making sure that none of our priorities coming into the summer were missed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Tui.
Sincerely doubt it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm very happy about this as well. One
Wouldn't you?
point that I'm very happy about is the mentorship leadership experience.
Can't say.
program,
Can't
which
say.
we
I can
know,
just say that I'm working
14
on
to
it.
15-year-olds
Unconfirmed.
We keep climbing.
kids to get engaged and all of that.
I,
they're not old enough to work,
Sat
and,
next to Councilor Toomey
there-
at the bar at Dead Horse
just-
on
there's not
Friday
a lot
night.
of programming for them.
How'd that go?
And so I
Well,
think
she's listening to
this
the
is
police
really going
scanner.
to make a difference.
No, she was not listening to the police scanner.
Lots of
To be honest, I just
children.
ignored her. I was
The
there
other
with my
things
wife,
I'm
and I
happy about is
we
the,
never get to go out anymore.
swim
And I
lessons,
weighed my
as
options, like, do I
well
even
as
say
the
hello
summer
and
safety
go down
initiative.
this
Making
nightmarish
sure
road
that
of
our
whatever
parks
comes
and
next, or
recreation,
just
Yeah,
like
right.
be an adult and tune it out.
recreation
So I
areas
did
are
that.
safe.
That was a nice gift to
That our blue
Iris.
spaces are safe
Yeah,
as
I mean,
well.
it's really the least I could
And
do.
that, community out like this,
I
this
owe
community
I
piece
owe a
at its
lot.
best
So
as well.
yeah.
As
Respect.
well as including the summer impact program, which we know does very well. And I think that having more cameras in the parks, especially with our blue spaces as well, will certainly help alleviate a lot of things too, and be able to identify areas of concern. So I thank everybody for their
Ringo, she's spending too much time
commitment
making
and,
crafts. She can't
efforts
sleep at
to,
night.
work really hard on this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor King.
Blue space is a lake or water body.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mo, I
Thank you,
know
Mr.
that Ed
Chairman.
can sue me for defamation. That's why I'm not
A
saying
couple
it.
questions here. Before I begin, as I have for the last many years, kudos to the city manager for the work and the dedication to our youth. You know,
Green,
prior
depending
to,
on what's in there.
his
Unfortunately,
time
we know what's in there.
as city manager, we didn't have these sorts of after-school.
I was talking with
opportunities
somebody
starting
today
in our
about
schools.
kayaking in Lake Quincy and whether or not how terrible of an idea that would be.
Our delegations, Senator Chandler and others,
I wouldn't.
earmarking dollars for this.
But I kind of want a third
and it's
arm.
been
It'd be really
a
convenient.
high point as an elected official to be a part of. That being
I wonder
said,
if there's
I
a
do
way
have
of
couple
measuring
questions.
like how
One
much
is,
of the poop
in the
is came from
parks
Chick-fil-A.
and rec areas. It lists
Like
a number of
Chick-fil-A
places
to
that
sewer system to
police
Lake Winsig.
presence.
Because I think that
Bell Pond, Indian Lake,
pretty much
Shore
everyone in
Park,
Worcester just
Worcester
eats
Park,
Chick-fil-A
Indian
every
Lake,
night.
Boat Ramp,
That's the
North
impression
Lake
I have.
Ave, Coal Mine Brook, Coles Pond,
I don't
Northland Park,
I don't
East
get it.
Park, Spray Park, Greenwood Park. Spray
You ever
Park,
drive past
English
Chick-fil-A?
Oh, yeah.
and I just want some
Wild.
They've reps around the
clarification
building
here. It says
twice.
The police department will have 2 officers assigned every day to these locations between 11:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. One officer, then it says one officer will be assigned to Bell Pond.
Yeah, he
Lake
totally
Ave,
would have and
Brook,
should have gone that route.
Greenwood Street,
St.
Spray
Possums.
And then it says the second
The
officer
fact that
will
this
be
came so
assigned to
suddenly
Lake
and
Shore
it's
Park and
happening
Woodland
in such
Park and
such
Coles
short order
Pond.
speaks to
So,
something
that
that
paragraph
we're not
indicates
being
there'll be
told.
2 officers assigned every day to those locations. And
When
one
it's safe
says
again,
there'll
you
be
totally
more,
should, because it's a lot of
it'll be
fun.
split
It's a
up.
great
So I'm
lake.
just trying to understand exactly how that will play out. And how
It
that
seems the
coverage will
consensus, boss lady, is Assistant City Manager Eric Batista will be your interim manager. But there's also been a lot of grumblings over the last 6 months or so to expect a
Yes, we're going to split that
charter
up.
review
One-
commission as well,
one
which could
officer will
introduce
be
the
on the
potential
east
for strong
side,
mayor.
And the other officer will be on the west side. We'll also supplement that with our SLO officers and also utilizing the summer impact. So we're going to flex those hours. That way we can have more coverage because obviously I think it's
Maybe he'll
13
get an
different
assistant,
places.
and I don't know who that'll be.
Thank you. And through the chair, so those officers will be rotating. Is that
Did you
what it
notice how he
is,
didn't
or
walk around and just use it in the
will there be,
pulpit? He had to pull it forward. Is that
individual
normal?
officers fixed at each location?
Yeah, I don't
One of
know.
those officers is going to be a detail, and that's going to be provided through the Parks Department. So in collaboration with this whole agenda, we've been working closely with the commissioner.
The cops here to talk about the
coming up
summer
with all our
impact
personnel
program,
through
which
that
is just
effort.
getting more cops out in the
Thank you. And with regards to the
to
lake
harass teenagers, basically.
patrols
Mhm.
and enforcement, I know that when we spoke about
Happy to have you here,
Indian
boss
Lake
lady.
last year,
Hi,
I had
boss
some
lady.
specific orders on relative to increased enforcement on that body of water. And there is a section here on lake patrol, lake enforcement rather than patrol. And I wonder if you could just
Yeah, but
kinda
then
give
Che got into the
public
private
some
sector,
basic
and
bullets
he's
as
thriving
relates to
there
that,
very well.
operation and what the change is from past years through the chair.
Chief?
Through the chair to the council. Same as last year as far as collaboration with the environmental police and the Shrewsbury police. As far as Lake Quincy, we're also going to put several officers through an additional
Yeah,
class.
we might have
to get
heard.
them certified in the water safety.
It's been talked
as
about
far
a couple
as
times.
concerned. And we are reaching out to other divisions within the department so we can have enough officers. So that will be covered. Although we only have one boat, we're working on obtaining. a
Bo
second
Mergman
one,
really wants you
so
to
we can
spill your
have coverage
beans.
in both locations. The more
It's something that
people who
Uh-oh,
no
here
one
comes the Ed
can
Hunter.
actually
but
drive
Ed
safely,
Oh,
would have
what
been able
up?
to do.
Safety inspections.
Hi, Ed Hunter.
Uh,
You're doing something
did,
unsafe.
At the
motherfuckers.
same time, we're going to utilize.
Congratulations.
So we
We
can
destroyed this
have a
man's whole
presence
life.
at the ramp, which will hopefully deter.
Can you believe it, guys? All it took was about 30 jokes from about 6 idiots. And we fucked this whole shit up.
Good news to hear that
Hell
there's
yeah.
gonna be on this
I'm proud of
additional
us today.
police boat. Do we have a
Proud
time
of you
frame on that
guys.
through the chair?
And,
It's the inner circle. We get shit done.
Chair to the council.
you know, when they let us into the
just like a
Illuminati
motor
for
vehicle right
one
now,
day, and we
everything's
fucking
backed up.
destroyed this whole
So
city.
You can do anything inside that piss ring.
a new boat
Piss
right
ring,
now is
unite.
just, impossible.
Oh yeah, do we
Thank
have
you. And through
the
Chair,
do we
if you
have
could speak a
our
little bit
cover?
about how that's going to
throw
look
that
over
up.
Indian
I
Lake.
should
Last year we had a suspension
I'm
of
driving home from work right
jet
now, so I
skis,
don't
and
want to take up too much
I'm
space
assuming
here. You
that
can
there's
drop me out
going
of the
to be
studio,
some
Trav, or out of the
specifics
room.
as it relates to that.
But I just wanted
as
to
part
say
of this
thank you to
patrol
Sarah Connell
in
Sanders
collaboration. If you
for
could share a little bit about that through the chair.
exposing our
Through the chair
role
to
in
the
the
council,
city.
again, we're going to be out there early.
Helping us,
and
and I would say I would give her a lot of credit,
additional
helping us
enforcement at the ramp
destroy Ed
and by
Augustus's whole
enforcing
career.
I think history will show that Sarah actually did this. Sarah is fully responsible.
Sarah Connell Sanders' fault.
Yeah,
Claim
credit us,
responsibility.
blame Sarah. I think that's
We're going to go out there.
Yep.
and
I like that.
advise people the things they can't be doing.
There he
We're
is.
gonna
See
use
you later,
community
pal.
policing to try
Joy,
to get people to
jail.
conform.
He's going to jail,
what's
right?
going
That's what
on.
we've decided.
And then as we go. and
This
we have
officer
this-
is actually here to arrest him right now. As soon as he's done talking about water safety, he's going to be placing the manager under arrest.
Oh, hey, look who it
Thank
is.
you. And the last question I have before my final comment is when talking
you're right.
about
Jake has a
actually,
lot to
couple
do with
questions.
this too,
When
actually. So
talking
thank you,
about
Jake, for helping us destroy Ed Augustus.
increasing the number of folks that are
Somebody
trained
clip that.
to perform duties on the
Yeah, but you have to do it publicly. You have to publicly prostrate yourself before me.
the
Yeah,
shorelines or what have
about
you, or the
Merckman. I don't know
ramps.
what the context is, but yeah, it has to
And
be
it
in
sounds like
public.
there's some additional training.
Bill has a
What's
big
the
juicy
target
rumor
for,
that is
Oh yeah,
unsubstantiated.
Jess just told me about that. I'm gonna need to know about that in
trainings
the
of
private
staff,
chat later.
and the question, I guess, is a referential.
So,
point would be,
the
what
poop
was
thing
it
is taking over as
last
city
year?
manager, right? We
What
can
are we
all
looking
agree.
at now? Was it
Yeah.
5 folks that were trained, and we're looking at trying to get
Can't stink it up any worse.
Yeah, less shitty than Ed Augustus.
through the chair.
Through the chair of the council. Right now, the training, we're trying to get on board. with
I don't
the
want to
Dynamo Police.
interrupt, and I need
They
to
can
drive.
conduct a
I'm gonna
basic
stay in
seamanship
the studio,
course,
Travis. But if
which
you want
will
to drop me out of the
certify
room,
the officers and how to handle a boat properly. And I believe last year we had 4 to 5 individuals. But again, most of the time when this is happening is on a weekend. And sometimes it's difficult to get people to actually come in and work that type of detail. We only have 8 to 10 weeks. In the
Sarah,
summer.
I'm actually a little
So
upset you didn't
the more people
manage
we
to
have
get
on
the full
standby,
photograph
then
that I
we can
sent you.
draw
And
from
that
they're already certified.
I was really proud of the T-shirt.
Easier to
I guess
fill,
is what I'm
so we
getting
can
at.
be sure
What was on the
that every
T-shirt?
weekend we do have officers.
I sent you the full picture. That
Thank
was
you,
my
Mr. Chairman.
that was a
You know,
selfie I
talking
took of
about
myself 2
basic
years ago on the
patrols
4th of
brings me
July.
to the
That's my
question of
American
Oh,
flag.
the American flag one.
Tank top, yeah.
Where are we at with respect to water safety, water devices for our law enforcement folks through the chair?
Yeah.
Where are we? I know there was a bunch
Manny
of orders
boxes,
on
I think they were going to
some
call
time
them.
ago as relates to folks in patrol vehicles and what have you in training. I know that there was some training that was going on at the academy. What's the latest update on that through the chair?
Chief.
Through the chair to the council. Right now, we are starting
All right.
in service.
All in favor of banning Jack right now? Raise your hands.
Part of our in-service training is going to be water safety at the Y, where officers will be getting in the pool to practice using the devices that we're going to have in our cruises. And obviously, you have to train with that prior to
Brian agreed.
Thank you. And do we have a time frame when we'll have those devices in all cruisers? Through the chair.
Through the chair of council, I do not have that information.
Thank you. Just would like to get an update with that, Mr. Chairman, as a form of an order, just where we are with respect to that and
My
related
first
costs. I know that that's
Act as Emperor of
priority
Worcester
of the administration, the mayor, and the
will
council.
be banning Jack
I'd
from
much
the
appreciate it. And
stream.
the closing
That
thought
I'm
would
also
be, you know,
the subject
I
of.
know that it was extremely unsafe on some of our water bodies last year. I think it required additional enforcement and relationship building on our bodies of water. You know, and I hope that we are able to make inroads with relationships.
Oh, shit, I forgot that Paul Giorgio is watching.
Recreating and spending time.
That changes
here in the
everything.
city as relates to that. I you know, I know we're talking about, enforcement.
Let's see if they put Jack in
I
the
hope that
swimsuit
arrests are the
edition.
exception rather
Then
than
now
the
we'll be
norm,
talking.
and that we're able to work through this. I think there's going to be an adjustment phase for folks.
Dang,
and I
Ed
hope
Augustus
that,
is leaving, huh?
That's it.
We do a great
What else we
job
gonna
of
talk?
matching
That's fucking
the
crazy.
needs of the folks.
I mean, his statement
that
really
that are using our
seems
our,
like a
recreational
lot of
bodies,
misdirection to me. I've heard it a
with
couple
the,
times now.
law enforcement staff that is assigned to
and
work.
I
at
just
those
don't.
locations.
I
Thank you,
don't
Mr.
think
Chairman.
that
Thank you.
we
Thank you,
really
Chair.
have the real reason
And,
here.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to appreciate the interdepartmental efforts of the police department, the parks department, the youth office, everybody really working together to make sure it's an all hands on deck approach to this summer, to make sure that as many young people as possible can have safe, enriching summer experiences by expanding the youth program, Rec Worcester. to start
Wait, is
right
Jack
after
really
the
banned?
end of the year and go right until school starts again at the end of August.
That's
Means
awesome.
There won't be gaps that we've had in previous
I can
years
unban
where
him right now.
sometimes families
Don't.
just can't figure out how to get childcare for those couple of weeks and go to other programs. By providing this kind of seamless
Ted
opportunity for
Augustus.
families, we think we'll serve more kids in the 12 locations throughout the city.
I really
Between the
expected
rec
Ed to
program,
step down with like a full rollout of like hagiography and like
Military
pomp-
honors. Yeah.
military honors, pomp and
more than
circumstance. You know,
400
like
young people to work this summer, all making more than $15 an hour, allowing them to get experience. To
I
get
may be in the market for an intern after this
resumes,
one.
to get some money for themselves and for their education, and helping us.
My
provide
intern
this
rage quits. I might be on it.
program to our young people. I also want to acknowledge the Parks Department through the efforts of the administration, the City Council. If you think about it, we've invested in new swimming facilities at Coes Pond, new swimming facilities at Shore Park. We're now in the process of designing new swimming facilities at Clayson Beach. We've committed through the ARPA funds to redo the swimming facilities at Bell Pond. And we're adding spray parks at Tacoma and University Park. So we are trying to expand the opportunities for young
No,
people
I'll
across
have
the
to.
city, no matter what neighborhood they live in, to have access to water.
Yeah.
During the
Well,
hot
I was just
summer.
thinking about that. I had to look it
Neighborhoods.
up. I mean,
And
Ed
working on
just mentioned the pay rate of $15 an hour. Like that was something to brag about. I mean, the minimum wage is $14.25 now.
working there.
Yeah,
you know,
and I have it on
as
pretty good
with,
authority that was
as
a
summer
fight.
staff, making
Yeah.
sure
They were
it's safe
pushing
and
back on
enjoyable
that.
experience. And I also want to really appreciate the Worcester Police Department, who've kind of put their heads together and come up with a strategy to make sure that all those facilities
Hello.
are safe and that the
You see your
recreational
next
opportunities on the bodies of
city
water
manager,
trucks
Shaun Connolly, already kissing babies and is part of his campaign.
appropriate ways. We want people to have a good time. We want people to enjoy their boating and other activities on the water, but we want it to be safe for them and for all of the people who are using it. And a big shout out to the Worcester Police Department for really thinking creatively about how to train the officers and deploy the officers in a way that we're going to have a really good summer for the people of Worcester. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Send that to Parks Subcommittee. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Thank you. Okay, we'll do the executive session at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
We are now on appointments.
Thank you.
9.1A, transfer information communication of the appointment of John DeChico and the reappointment of Kimberly Vanderspeck to the elections.
They'd
Commission.
honestly do a better job.
Travis, if you're listening, I think Brian's trying to get in.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor GA?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Hey,
Yes.
just
Councilor
a heads up.
Carlson?
Don't worry, everybody. I changed the password on our
Councilor
Instagram.
Yes.
So
Councilor Rivera?
Jack's
Rose?
fired.
Yes. Councilor Russell?
Bill, I suggest doing that on Worcester South if you can.
Oh boy. No,
Yes,
I would love for the
now
drama to
go
play
back.
out, honestly. It's entertaining.
Councilor Toomey?
All right, yeah, let's see what
Yes.
happens. Yeah.
Mayor
You'll at least get a few T-shirts out of it.
Yo, big time. Yeah. And what the fuck do I care? It's Instagram.
Is
Who gives a
Mr.
shit?
DeChico in District 3? That's all I ask. Because it says.
Have you
says
thought
he's-
about hiring Ed Augustus as your intern?
And then
Oh,
on
that'd
the
be
other
great.
page, It doesn't.
He can give me the inside
contradict
scoop on all the
resolution.
terrible
Wanna
shit
make
he
sure
did
there's three
over
other
the 8 years that he was
representatives,
the city manager
or we'll
that
have a
we all know
representative.
about.
That's all.
But maybe there's other shit that he
Maybe
did too.
I'd ask for reconsideration.
Well, we'll see.
Like the thing that I
Through the chair to
have
the
in good
council, my
confidence that
understanding,
I'm working on
Mr. Chief, that is in
confirming
District 3,
that I
but
can't talk
I don't know
about
if the manager folks.
But you
They've
can
done
probably read
communication.
about someday if you
understanding is
subscribe to
clear,
Bill
District
Shander's Substack.
You can probably read about it if I get
Smooth.
if I reach the threshold of confirming it
And we can get
somehow.
the information.
Unsure about how to do that yet.
By tomorrow, you get in 48 hours ask for reconsideration.
This is
okay.
I'm gonna have to get into the territory of like FOIA-ing text messages, which is not always easy to do.
Customer information communication of the summary of the fiscal year 23 health insurance procurement process and resulting premium rates. Send that to MO.
You're good at background, like
Those in favor opposed so ordered.
like staying in the background, being a Milford boy,
in preparation of citywide
seen nor heard.
Roll call.
No, it's not sexting. It's not anything.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes. It's not a sex
Councilor
scandal.
Gloria?
Yes.
Councilor GA?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Too bad.
Councilor Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Councilor
I was
Nguyen?
just thinking.
Yes.
It's been a while since we had a good sex scandal.
Councilor Rose?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
I mean, if there is a sex scandal, I would
Chairman
love
Grant,
it.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes. Recommend the adoption order taking 132 acres.
Yeah, when was the
property
last time we had a City
Rutland,
Hall sex scandal?
Rutland, Mass.
Mike Gaffney had something, right?
Agenda item 9.35.
I guess so.
And so
I don't-
adopt it on the roll call.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be on the tree
Councilor
commission
Bergman?
so bad that I'm going to blackmail the
Councilor
sitting
Gloria?
city manager.
GA?
But
Councilor King?
You don't want it
Councilor
bad
Merrill
enough.
Carlson? Councilor
Manfredo is a pretty
Councilor
good
Rivera?
sex scandal.
There you are. Yep.
Yeah.
Rose?
Yes.
Councilor
That
Russell?
is
Yes.
a dark,
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
dark
Yes.
thing.
Next time is transmitting
Like who?
communication of the report concerning the feasibility administrative.
Yeah, that's not a
predetermining the
fun
amount of
scandal.
abatement amounts
That's not.
for bills
That's actually
provided
that's worse than
to
that's not even a
persons
scandal.
or
That's just
utility
being a
installation,
pedophile.
Automatically in advance factor in those amounts in each assessment.
There's a difference there.
Council Russell?
Yeah, but Mike Gaffney was fun though.
We have a representative from the law department available to.
There you go.
Mr. Train
Yeah.
is on the call.
I think that also rises
Oh, yeah.
above sex scandal.
He's also on here, okay.
That's predatory and fucked up and
I don't know if this is something Mr. Trainer is familiar with. I know it had another attorney's name on it, but
oh yeah, that's
the
right.
bottom
Yeah,
line is that they
Mike
can
Gaffney had a black eye
this,
because his wife beat him up.
send
He
out the
cheated on
bills,
her.
the policy is. At the end of it, it points out that
No, that was good.
in the last page of the second to last paragraph, it says alternatively, the city could consider including the abatement process and when they're doing the math, when they send the bill out. Is that correct?
Mr. Trainer?
Through the chair of the council, we determined that if there are certain instances where it's always an abatement after the fact.
My name's George Russell, and I
factor that in
barely
at the
understand anything on this agenda. Can you explain it
These
all
guys
to me?
are having a mustache off.
Assessment. We'd have to word it
Yeah.
in such a way that you'd do the entire assessment and then cite the rule as to why it's an automatic reduction. Not to go, so we don't go through the process of knowing that it's going to be
Is he really?
eventually abated anyhow.
Yes.
Mike Gaffney's in
There are
Florida?
other grounds for abatement that would have to wait the normal course, where there's discretion from the council.
The final resting place of all
By
true
those that we know.
Republicans.
I think it's said in that opinion, for instance, the corner lot rule.
I
Those are
allegedly
to
can't
one
say
side,
anything
they get
about
abated
what
for the second
I
side.
heard until
If
I
that's the
confirmed
case,
it.
we could deduct
So
that.
we're
The
going
city
to
could
keep
deduct
it that like
upfront
that.
before the actual assessment.
But I don't mind teasing it.
At a recent meeting, the Council Bergman asked where the rules
Yeah,
were.
legit,
They
Squeebo.
referred
Like
to
they're
Connor,
fisticuffing
Walker,
off the mustaches.
what else? There were a couple of
George
other
and
items
the
that
city
wanna add
solicitor
on.
right now, they're pretending to be kind of fighting right now just so nobody figures out that they got those suits as part of a buy one, get one sale at Men's Wear.
Rule or law that we're.
Brokeback Mountain, starring George Russell and Mike Trainer.
Through the chair. Can't you use a new suit?
So is there,
I've been told there's a corner lot rule, and I don't know where it comes from, but
so is there anything that's prohibiting this?
That's what they
council
call the
or
off the
from
rack fit.
Making a recommendation to the council from adding any other items? that
Mr.
they
Train?
think.
Mr. Train?
I think it would be subject to discussion with the administration, and then we would look at, does it fit within this narrow window of saying this always happens? It becomes by operation automatic. So we might as well do it up front rather than after the fact.
All right, so we're dealing with what's in front of us now. I'm going to support setting it to Public Works Committee, but I'm going to ask that the administration have available at the Public Works Committee meeting a draft ordinance that we could bring back to put this in, because I think it's, even if we're just dealing with these corner lot rules and the rule with the frontage on another street or behind your property, it would stop people from overpaying for assessments. Because the city staff could figure out ahead of time what the bill really should be.
Imagine if George Russell just won at one city council meeting was like, and then he popped out. He was the poop thing this whole time.
Whole time.
All that if we really only should be paying a certain amount.
The
So I
poop
would
thing
ask
rips through the flesh of
and the
George
city
Russell,
solicitor to
which
have
reveals true
whatever
identity.
verbiage is available that we'll need so we can just get this done. Thank you.
So the motion would be to send that to committee along with Council Russell's item. All those in favor, opposed?
Guys, how's everyone feel being political insiders, huh?
I'm assuming this question can also go to committee, but while the city solicitor is here, and I appreciate the memo.
Came as a surprise to me.
It does say whenever petition for laying out, and then it talks about the assessment.
I'm happy to know that this Twitch stream is just as powerful as the private meetings that Ed Augustus, Tim Murray, and Jim McGovern have to decide what actually happens in the city before anyone gets to vote on it or know about it. That's pretty sick. I got to do a story on that Economic Development Coordination Council. That's like the most undemocratic thing that could possibly exist. Like, it's so just like,
the question was, can we,
how do they get away with that? Right?
If it's not a question that can be easily answered today, I respect that. But perhaps when we get to committee, if you can't answer it through the chair, that'd be helpful to know, because there are some people that have this put upon them that the city decides to add sewer and water pipes, and then they get charged.
You know what's interesting is
simply tell us
the
are we paying for it?
those groups. It was actually a couple weeks ago that Russell was talking about lobbying, and like, because those people are so intimately related to City Hall, like, we don't actually think about it in the context of what it is, but it is just straight up lobbying. Like, those are private entities that are essentially dictating the direction of city government
The practice has
with
always been to hold
zero public
work
participation.
without ballots to the abutters. They vote, and if there was
What gets built
no
where,
vote, that
who
vote
builds
was
it,
hearing.
who gets the union
If
contracts,
there were no votes, it's the will of the council that dictates whether
all
or
those
not
things, you know.
that will move forward. Similar question you asked.
It's
is,
an entirely
only be the
untransparent
city that installs sewers and
way
water
of
pipes.
deciding these things,
Years ago,
and
established
we would
prior
be
agreements with people
fucking
petitioning the
naive to
to
believe
extend
that
sewer or
everything
water
is
at
being
their
done
expense.
above board. I mean,
Right.
these are fucking
In turn, we
developers,
would
for
not
Christ's sakes, you know?
Assess any betterments to any property owners. That program seems to have gone away. I don't know the entire history, but there was precedent long ago when people would do that.
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, I apologize. I think the real question I had was a specific situation where nobody on the street petitioned. There was no prior agreement with any developer or property owner. It was simply the will of DPW to add a sewer and or water pipe to a certain location, and then they were assessing.
I want to
the
get
adjacent
together with
property owner. My question
everybody in
is
this city that has ridiculous
different than
mustaches
what your
just to
answer,
drink
although I appreciate
milkshakes.
your answer. So
Just
I don't know if
really
you have that
big,
answer,
thick
but we can
milkshakes.
certainly wait for committee.
Through the chair, the
With no
Let's start
starch.
let's start a mustache growing competition, but it's how
Yeah.
much milkshake can you drink without getting it on your mustache?
Wow.
I love that idea.
That's just, you know what? That's one of those things that sounds great, but in practice, it's gonna be fucking disgusting.
It's gonna be a lot of dirty stashes.
The milkiest, crustiest mustaches in the game. Crustier even than the fire department mustaches, which are some of the most impressive mustaches I've ever seen in my life.
Spring sweeping program.
Bill, all I'm hearing is that we have an opportunity to set ourselves up here with a brand new regime
Sorry,
moving
Mr.
in,
Chairman,
and crusty mustaches are where it's at.
I guess through the chair, I just had one question.
It's a crusty
right.
mustache code.
For Mr. Fink, and then a comment.
You know,
With respect
I think
to
if
the
we have
CMC.
like an old boys network in Worcester that we've recently, by the grace of Sarah Connell Sanders, been invited into, we should start acting and dressing the part. You know, let's get like,
Yes.
let's get some cowboy boots. Let's get some cowboy hats, some big buckles. Start speaking with the southern drawl.
I'm
Oh,
only going to wear that
man.
American flag tank top from
Shed
now
some
on.
light, on where we
Yo,
are
man,
with
I
the
go
number
up
of
there
employees
talking
and where we
about
were
dang old
behind
man. That
a lot of
Tim
employees.
Murray tell you
So,
what, man, dang
we've,
old, we can get freaking building beat
has
dang
that
old
improved,
built
or I have
anywhere,
a
man.
follow-up question
Tell you
after
what.
Commissioner?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the filling of all the
Divorce her.
positions is still a
That's
challenge.
what I did.
And it's a challenge not only from the entry-level
And look how good
positions,
this looks.
because of the market that we find ourselves in and the wages that we're offering. We're going through a lot of recruitment efforts, bringing people into
Worcester
the table to
Fire
interview them,
Society.
offering positions only to have them refused. There's been a number of
Yeah,
other
but we started the
positions
piss
that,
ring, so take
folks
that.
have
The
moved
Worcester
on
Fire
because of the job
Society
market,
is a secret
gone to other
fraternity.
positions in other areas.
What?
Is that real?
So again,
Oh.
Is that real? That can't be real.
No.
That's
of the
I want to
organization,
believe it,
there
but
has
I can't
been
believe it.
vacancies there
And
as
P
well.
beats fire, so we're good.
So from when you
Yeah,
came on
right,
as
yeah.
director to now, you able to give us a sense of what percentage has been filled or not filled?
Commissioner?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the percentage as it stands today versus when I started is probably roughly the same. I don't have the exact numbers with me. However, if I looked at how many came on and how many left, I would say that probably about 5% of the total level of employees.
I mean, he's not wrong. It actually is on the city's fire department, like about us.
I ask these questions not because I don't respect the fact that it's a challenge to get more employees.
That's like the original
It's
fire
also
department
our
was the Worcester Fire
colleagues have
Society.
always,
It was
have
just
often,
the wealthy people who
championed
chipped in to buy a fire engine
up
so the
program,
city
and I
wouldn't
know one of the
burn to the
barriers
ground.
to that, we've been told is the number of
Interesting.
employees DPW has. So I won't get on my soapbox too much about it tonight because I understand the challenges that DPW has. But I often look at, what would somebody from out of Worcester or out of Massachusetts observe about our program, and I see the great effort that's done in the fall, although it's often challenged by the neighborhoods where snow comes too early and we can't get the leaf pickup, or neighborhoods where snow comes later and the leaves don't get picked up, and the fact that the snow covers the leaves and it's not as necessary as it is in the springtime to have your lawn look well. And there's certainly a lot of science that says that leaves are pretty good way of.
You know what's gonna make
getting
me
over flowers,
fully
beds,
lose
and
it
trees as
one day
compost.
is
So
hearing city
I look
councilors
at it
talk
like
about
this
fucking leaf
fall
pickup.
program is historic. We do it all the time. It's important.
But then the
People
snow
use it,
comes
people
and
love
covers
no
it.
question about that. But I look at the spring program as an
God, dude, I
opportunity to do quite a lot
cannot
in a season.
deal
Everybody
with city
appreciates
councilors
the
who
lawn,
think it's their
plants
job
flowers,
to talk about
and we used to
fucking
have that.
leaf pickup.
I remember that. Nobody can kind of take that out of my memory, and I know others here remember it as well. I understand we're down employees, and I'd like to revisit this again. At some point, maybe at budget time or later.
How do we hire people with shovels for feet so they can just walk around and shovel our streets?
That's my mini so
All right, that's what
I
I'm
said
into.
wrong.
That's
But,
that's what I
we'll
want to hear.
revisit
That's what I
this
want to
again.
talk
Thank
about.
you.
Send that to Public Works. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
They probably have a subcommittee for it specifically.
We are 9.30. Transmitting information communication of the fiscal year 2022.
There are streets in Worcester, Yenny, that they get swept basically weekly, and they're all labeled as emergency arteries. Like mine is actually one because it leads to the reservoir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I have no idea what kind of debris would be expected in the road that a street sweeper is going to take care of. But yeah,
we're doing pretty well.
personally, I just find it annoying
27
because it
million
comes
over
by at like
budget,
10 o'clock
state
at night
revenues,
when it could be
property
I don't know,
tax collection
downtown actually being useful.
So is there a parking ban on that road?
No, it's just like
we have
it's
a
a totally
number of,
superfluous thing that the city has had
hotel,
for
motel taxes,
decades.
which
This like
close to
emergency
1.5
artery
million more,
order that
all sorts of
the main
good
routes
stuff
in the
there. I
city
just
that
had a question
always
to the
need to be
chair,
clear and
to
accessible.
the
They just send a
administration.
street sweeper
As I
down once a
listen
week,
to this and I
all
think
spring and summer.
inflation and all those things, I'm just wondering.
But that's got to be a good gig to get.
What sort of impact?
Like if I'm a
that potentially
parks
will have
worker or
on
like one of
our
those maintenance
bottom line
guys.
as a city, Mr. Chairman. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
If,
Driving a
the
sweet
chief
sweeper around
financial
doesn't
officer
seem like a
can speak
bad
to that,
gig.
or the manager. I'm just wondering what the thought has been around all of that through the chair.
Mr. Manager?
Yeah, like New York.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the counselor. Certainly, inflation and the cost of.
I was in New York
goods
over the
has
weekend for a
substantially
show,
impacted a number of projects.
and it's
there
annoying
are
that
vehicles,
New York is
there
such a
are
cool city. And I have
equipment
to
and
admit it.
construction
It
materials that
fucking
go into
sucks to
projects
admit.
that are
Who'd you go
running
see?
significantly over what
I went with the
we had
van.
budgeted.
I went in the van
Nice.
down with High
Sometimes
Command
their
to
lead times
their
are
show
over
at St.
a year,
Vitus in Brooklyn.
Oh, St. Vitus is one of the coolest
substantially
clubs too.
challenging
Yeah.
in terms of just the
And that part of
operation.
Brooklyn is so
We're going
cool.
to be coming in with some
And
updates on
it just
Derby High
fucking
School. We're gonna see
sucks
some very
because it's
significant
like you
effects
have to
there,
marry
on
like
the
an oil
cost of
heiress to live there.
Yeah, legit.
If you look at just the
Or be
increased cost of
Lucky Sperm
materials,
Club.
Yeah,
in the 2
right.
years South High School was built and Doherty High School was built,
But yeah,
they're
Brooklyn rules.
substantial.
I hate to admit it, but it's
So
just
we're
really
seeing
cool.
that across the board, the city government and all the goods and services that we
Like I want it to be so whack that like it's like I can feel good about it, like
So
smug
again,
in
we
some way,
try to
but it
look
really
at
just
that,
is like
manage for
100,000 times
that,
better
try
than
to
Worcester in
compensate
every
for that as
conceivable
we put
way.
our plans together.
Except for Williamsburg, that place
figure out
fucking
how we
sucks.
can present a
It's like
budget that
living
still
inside an
accomplishes
Urban
all the
Outfitters.
things that we want, understanding that the cost
Go
of
on.
some of those things.
The rest of Brooklyn is cool
includes,
though.
quite honestly, salaries. Part of the reason that we have a lot of vacancies in departments is, it's a very much a employee market out there. Employees have a lot of choices, a lot of
Yeah,
options.
if people walked around Worcester, we would
really
have a
gotta
much cooler city.
need
But
ways
I
to
mean,
stay competitive,
60
whether
years
it be
of
entry-level positions
decisions
or,
have
the
destroyed
engineering
that.
positions or lawyer positions or all the various kind of spots that we have across city government that we're looking for qualified and talented people.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that answer. As we govern as a body
Mr.
and as a
Mr.
district, I
Chairman,
think all of
why
us are
won't you
probably
appoint
thinking
Bill
about
to the
the
tree
realities of
commission?
inflation. And to hear that that's going to be coming.
He's
Can I
basically
file
the
that?
Lorax.
Before us.
Can I file that as a
and
petition?
Provide some further
Why haven't you
not?
appointed me to
My
the tree
dad used to
commission?
always say that the gravy train doesn't ride forever. And we know that we're gonna have to
Yeah,
take all
see?
that into consideration, and would like just a minor order to request that we get that report back that was mentioned.
Bill, if you're
Oh,
on
yeah.
that commission, you're going to have
Something
access to so
we
many
can
annoying
look at,
data points to fuck
the
with Mo
impact that
about.
inflation is having on
Yeah.
the city's bottom line, on our projects, and on our budgeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Corio?
Thank you. I'm not sure who would answer this through the chair, maybe Mr. McGurthy. When we talk about property tax collections, it says that they're
The
still
Main
gonna have a
Street
collection of rate of 73%. And I'm
redesign,
assuming that
the
means out of
sidewalks
100%
became somehow
taxes
less
that we should
usable
collect, only
for pedestrians.
73% are out
They've
of
been
noticed that?
redesigned.
collected.
They
am
they
I-
like weirdly put
Mr. McGurthy?
like
Through the chair, that's
gates
to date. So we have
and
one more
like
quarter of tax payments
chains
that are
and
coming in.
two separate
Those
levels.
tax payments
They're all a
are
flight of
what is-
stairs.
really higher than the first half
What
of
is
the
the
year.
brick
You're using the
level
actual tax rate
accomplishing
in the second half of the
on
year. So
like
that 73%.
you know how it's like
will
it's like normal
go up
sidewalk and then
100%
it goes
by
down
year.
and there's like 2 feet of
So through the
brick
chair, do we
Yeah.
have
and there's like
taxes that
chains
are not
blocking off the
collected?
brick. Like what is that
Through
accomplishing?
through
What's
the
the point
chair,
of it?
yes. Every year there's some small.
Wait, how did
percentage
Jack
of
get back in?
taxes
Jack,
that
get
are
out
not
of here.
collected, where people
I
don't pay
unbanned
the
him 'cause I
tax, it
felt
goes through a
bad.
dunning process, it goes to default. The city does put a lien on those properties. So there's the process that we follow every year. To date,
Yeah, the Main Street
we don't
redesign
see
is
any
not pedestrian
changes
friendly.
from this year to
They
last
could have
year to
just
year
made
before.
the sidewalks
So it's-
bigger
we're
and
kind
they
of seeing
fucking
the same
couldn't even
thing
do that.
pattern as we see every year.
Okay,
Council?
through the chair, that
Just make the
was
sidewalks 2 feet
your
wider.
thought on that.
What's
The
where's the harm
reason-
in that?
Because
Well, 'cause then they
as
could put so
my
many more
colleagues
wrench
had
benches
mentioned,
in
and we
there.
Spoke about
True,
inflation,
true.
the cost of goods and everything rising.
Instead, they made the
that
sidewalks
are
2
there
feet
more
wider,
people
but
in default that pay their
2
taxes,
feet of that is
unfortunately,
completely
residential,
unusable for anybody
that
besides
we
someone
would
like
have
getting out of their
not
car.
seen maybe a year
Yeah.
ago when the
God forbid
prices
you're in a
started to
chair.
skyrocket.
I know somebody that has to
Through the-
navigate those streets
through the
in
chair,
particular,
we
and
measure
it is a
Yeah.
rough
final
time.
tax receipts
Yeah,
at the
it's
end of the
not
fiscal
good.
year,
I've done
so
a
we're not
couple
looking quarter by quarter. So
stories
we'll
with
know in
utility
a few
people.
months how FY22 has done. But in terms of kind of track to date,
They
we don't see
put
anything.
this
any major
beautiful
changes to
podium
prior
that
years.
looks cool, and
So
when
if I
it's
could just
lit,
put a
it's.
quick
I mean, it's
motion
kind of cool,
and to
but
say
it's
that
meant
we
to
have
give
a
like
report when
speeches.
that's the final
But
number, so
behind
we
it is
can
a
see maybe
stoplight, and the
for the
most
last
boring
maybe
view of the
3 years,
city,
just
where it was
look at
proposed
if
was
we
way
have
cooler, but they couldn't
more
put it
people
there for
defaulting
some
on
reason
their
or another.
taxes, so we can.
So that was just randomly placed on Main Street,
So we'll send
and
that
very
to,
underwhelming.
committee along with the report to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay. We are on finance items, 9.36 A through C, 9.37 A through
Buddy,
E,
nobody made
9.38
jokes
A
about
through
that.
F. Motions adopt them on the
Yeah.
roll call.
That didn't happen. You're making this
Councilor
bigger
Bergman?
than it
Yes.
needs to be, buddy.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Gia?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Carlson? Councilor Nguyen?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rose?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey? Councilor Toomey? And Mayor Petty.
Oh, where'd she go?
We are on finance items, 9.440 A and B.
What happened to Kate?
Advertise on the, these are the advertisement on the roll call.
Yeah, Strong Towns is a really good site.
Yeah.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Gia?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Carlson?
Oh
Councilor
my
Nguyen?
God.
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rose?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey? And Mayor Petty.
Yes. 10.A, concern the compensation of the cultural development officer. A day on the roll call.
Just going to remind everybody that this is a fun
Bergman?
thing that we do for fun.
Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Gia?
Yes.
And
Councilor
we're
King?
just having
Yes.
fun.
Councilor
here,
Carlson?
everybody.
Councilor Nguyen?
Not as in-depth
Councilor
as
Rivera?
Strong
Councilor
Towns, but
Rose?
there's a YouTube
Councilor
channel
Russell?
called Climate Town that does a
Toomey?
ton of urban design stuff. Really, really well produced videos.
Oh,
Privilege
sick.
for the city manager contact the appropriate representative of the Eversource to determine the feasibility of the company sending written.
Once I started getting into urban design, like seriously, like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, why the fuck isn't this like the main focus of city government, right?
Right.
Like, why isn't that the thing that they are actually concerned about? It's kind of baffling that it's such like a side issue.
The thing that was kind of weird about the Worcester, like the Main Street redesign, is it looks like they were shooting for what Boston did probably 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago around the
That
Broad
tracks
Street.
generally.
But it's like Boston published the entire design package that they used in like
Bergman?
super granular detail.
Calorio?
Yes.
And
Councilor Gia?
that's the thing; it just looks like they were
King?
shooting
Yes.
for it without
Councilmember
actually reading
Carlson?
through the data
Councilor
sheets.
Nguyen?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they
Rivera?
covered everything, like the
Rose?
Yes.
brick
Russell?
facade,
Councilor
sidewalks
Toomey?
down on like
Okay.
Broad Street and State
Yes.
Street. Those are all like water diversion channels that are used to filter out gray water and actually water the trees that they planted. It's like all benches are placed very deliberately, like you were saying, Travis. I mean, it's not like this was some another planet, right? It was actually just Boston, and they have the plans on their website.
23-24.
It was done with intention.
District 3 and 4.
Yeah.
in the additional standard
Must be
drive in
nice.
District 3, as well
Yeah,
as
I mean,
the
like,
Worcester
you know,
Street
the Ed
District
Augustus
4.
administration was one of the finest tax break betting
Councilor Bergman?
machines
Yes.
that
Councilor
Worcester's
Calorio?
ever
Yes.
seen.
Councilor
But,
Gia?
Yes.
Councilor
not
King?
quite the focus
Yes.
on urban design
Councilor
I would like
Carlson?
to see. So,
Councilor
that's
Nguyen?
it.
But
Yes.
arts is the
Councilor
special
Rivera?
sauce, guys.
Councilor Rose?
Dude, I
Councilor
fucking
Russell?
cannot
Yes.
stand it when he
Councilor
talks
Toomey?
about that
And Mayor
shit.
Petty.
Yes.
And like, not to be too much of a jerk about
the
the Worcester
Let's
Business
seek
Journal
council
article, but
meeting
like,
in executive
what the
session
fuck
at
was the lead
Tuesday,
of that
March
with the
22nd,
with
2022,
the
for the purpose of
weird
discussing
meeting
litigation with respect
that
to the case
like
of the town
something
of
some
Holden
sort of
versus
meeting for
Department of
artists? It's like,
Conservation, Recreation,
Oh,
no
I
one
was
knows
at that.
about that shit.
I was
like,
at
Civil
that.
action, and
But
the
what did
city
that have to
council
do with
will
the
not
like
reconvene
the
in open session,
us or
so we will not
the
So-
economic
reconvene in open
development
session.
coordination
Roll
committee?
call.
I don't get it.
At that
Yes.
so at that
Councilor
meeting,
Calorio?
Yes.
there was a
Councilor
young
Gia?
artist,
Yes.
Councilor
young
King?
artist of color
Yes.
that was
Councilmember
asking
Carlson?
questions about
Councilor
how did
Nguyen?
they get
Yes.
opportunities.
Councilor
And it
Rivera?
seemed like
Councilor Rose?
they kept
Yes.
using the word
Councilor Russell?
nepotism, but I don't think
Yes.
they knew
Councilor
what it
Toomey?
meant, or they didn't
Mayor
mean it
Petty?
the way they've
Yes.
said it. Are they done? Damn. All right. So
Is it?
they didn't mean it the way they suggested, but essentially what they were asking is how does somebody like that find their way into opportunities? And what Michael Bobbitt, the new head of the whatever the hell he is,
The MCC, yeah.
that's what it is. Thank you. He stated that people do work with people they know. So the way to do that is to start by sitting in on conversations like this and introducing yourself to the people here. And it's a way of finding more opportunities. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
So I can understand why or how she tried to make a connection there.
Okay. Well,
but I was at the meeting. So
that-
if you weren't at the meeting, you may not have necessarily known that.
Yes. And Michael Bobbitt is one, he's totally legit. Like, and he's a badass. And it's and he's also a transplant to a really insular cultural community in Massachusetts. So I can totally see him presenting it that way. And from his perspective, not intending to sound as clunky as it may have from a Worcester perspective, but from like an outsider's perspective.
I just get how it tied into the groups that were highlighted necessarily. That didn't necessarily make sense to me. Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Bill.
The Worcester Club is like, no, you're never going to be a member of the Worcester Club. Like the Worcester Economic Development Coordinating Council, no, you're never ever going to be a member of that. That you're never going to be invited to that. You're never going to get your jacket unless you've been here and your family has been here for generations. You're never going to be in the Worcester Club. You're never going to be in a position of power where you can be like at Augustus and Tim Murray's little club where they decide where things happen. So I didn't understand the connection between the artists meeting and those things.
And I also agree with people like AJ that are saying that just because like we should be inviting more of these people, we should be setting the table and having the conversations and not putting the onus on them.
For sure. Yeah.
That has always been my biggest criticism of Worcester in any universe that I've traveled in here is it's easy to have the perspective that you're kind of in the middle of everybody without recognizing you're really just maybe surrounded by 100 or 200 people that are interested in the same thing that you are at that one moment in time, but there's still another 200,000 people who have no idea you exist and would kill for the opportunities that oftentimes seem easy to come by here.
Mo Bergman, that's it's in the Worcester Business Journal, and it's called Inside Worcester's Inner Circle or something like that. So it should be on the front page.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back, Ed Hunter.
Thanks. I just was enjoying this conversation. I wanted to potentially chime in if I have the
Please.
opportunity.
You're allowed.
You have the floor.
No, I don't have anything specific to say. I do think that the article made me think about a lot as much of fucking dumb idiots as we are, and that's all our only intention is to be that. It did make me think about how there's a huge difference between like passively like inviting different viewpoints and actively seeking them out, and how much even this show, even us, we should be doing that more.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thinking about it a lot. That's I think it was important. We've been talking about it. The four of us and Shaun have been kind of talking about it all day, and I think that the huge importance is that as much as we're morons, I think even this thing could potentially become like gate kept if we're not careful, if we're not conscious of how we're interacting with the community and our audience, really.
Totally.
All these
Agreed.
idiot losers,
These beautiful
that watch
people
us.
that want to hang with us. It's a love-hate relationship. Do you have
we hate how much we love you.
Bryan, do you have any additional thoughts on Ed? I mean, I know we kind of rushed you when you came in before.
Listen, I just think that he heard footsteps. He heard Bill Shaner coming for his ass, and I think that Shaun throwing his hat into the ring for city manager, I think is a terrifying prospect. And yeah, I think me making 10 to 15 jokes in a row about how he's a bad person and is stupid on the roast, I think was probably the hammer that close that coffin for good. And frankly, good riddance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Frankenstein monster, and I couldn't last much past May with this guy anyway, so I think this is perfect timing for all of us. And
I think it's going to be interesting.
am terrified to see what monster comes after him.
Yeah. So I just want to address Ed Augustus directly for a second. If I'm blocked in any significant way in trying to find the information that I've been teasing all night, I will go the personal route, and I have stuff on that. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, and again, and it's important to know that, remind everybody that these threats are brought to you by Craft Tea Kombucha. the most ominous kombucha you can buy.
Yeah. The Kingslayer. The only kombucha ever responsible for the political demise of a city manager of a mid-sized American city.
Yeah. This whole journey has been absolutely fueled by Craft Tea Kombucha, as much as it's been fueled by hate. So
yeah,
we've kept our guts clean. We've kept ourselves ready for combat and battle and war.
Yeah.
And we came out clean on the other side.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Matt allows it, so we're good. We have the approval, guys.
Great, that's just great.
Thank you, Matt. Oh, guys, we got new swag from Craft Tea Kombucha to show off. I gotta hand it out to you guys sometime this week. Really coming through on the swag front. This sponsorship is really doing wonders for all of us here.
My closet's never been more thankful.
I don't know if you guys addressed this earlier, but and I know that Bill is teasing out a rumor and trying to confirm it. How much of that do you think is what it is, or is there some other?
Yeah, I think that
that's
I didn't hear the rumor about the calendar date. I think that's interesting. I know that people have been talking for a long time about how, Ed's not going to be around forever. Like that's been a thing swirling around the rumor mill for at least a month now, maybe longer.
Yeah, eventually he'll get called back to his home planet.
But I always took that to mean he's not going to renew his contract. Not fulfilling your contract and announcing your resignation is not something that you typically do if everything's hunky-dory and it's just time for you to retire. That's not the way that these sort of politicians tend to handle that, This is very much something that comes as the result of some scandal. And I think that his statement was trying to present the chief diversity officer thing as the scandal. I don't believe it. I don't buy that. I really don't buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only other option for something that's kind of like a surprise announcement like this, if it's not a scandal, is if it's like he's a running mate for somebody. But that's not what this feels like, right?
It doesn't feel like that.
This feels like that at all.
No, and that kind of stuff you kind of just know about before it's it happens.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that would be being teased. People would be much looser with that rumor.
Oh God, could you imagine if he's like Maura Healey's running mate?
That's people keep
I would just
saying
go
that,
lay
a
down
couple
in the
people have said that to me today.
Stop.
No,
that's
that's
awful.
I
not
don't
it.
think so.
That's not it. That's not it.
This is not how you do that, because if I could see it, because there's definitely been some resume padding consciously the last couple of years for sure, but he's on a downswing right now.
No, Ed Augustus is not going to continue a life in politics. He's going full private sector. He's going to work for some place like Raytheon and make 4 times the amount of money doing shit that's way more fucking evil. And that's where he's going to be at. Yeah.
Oh, do you guys think they're sending him to Ukraine to
Yeah.
Be a warlord.
They're going to send him to Russia to seduce Putin. Get him to stop.
Well, then all right. If he does that, then yeah, I'm back on his side.
Hope he wears his sexy clothes.
Yeah, Bane Capital. Bane Capital is perfect, right? Yeah, I don't know. Good riddance though. That's cool. I welcome this new. I welcome everyone getting to see how completely undemocratic and fucked up the process of choosing a city manager is. I am not expecting that we're going to get a good city manager, but I think it'd be useful for people who care about Worcester and Worcester politics to see like just how backhanded, underhanded, and like and undemocratic this process is.
This isn't just related to the city manager, but it seems like it's worth saying because the folks in the comments seem interested. But like work like Bill does, investigative journalism, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. And like everyone that's commenting, like is either hearing things or reading things or whatnot. You should all take it upon yourself to like reach out to journalists like Bill when you hear things. I mean, I don't mean just like reading some Facebook post that like everyone else on the planet read, but cities like Worcester, people say things all the time that they're not supposed to say out loud. And it's amazing the things that you hear if you just listen. Well, that too. But yeah, it's like the classic, if you hear something, say something. And Bill's the guy, man. Don't just subscribe to his Substack, but reach out if you actually hear things that you find interesting.
Buttery fucking smooth, Brendan. That's the second smooth plug he's worked into tonight's show.
That's so good. I think that, but Yenny, you're right that Batista is absolutely going to be the interim, and they're going to do the same exact thing they did with an Augustus. Is they're going to have him on as the interim for a year, and then be like, "Well, he's been doing such a good job. I don't see why we should do anything else," and just give him like a fat 3-year contract that he's going to be a city manager for 10 years, and we never had a say in it.
Today starts the Fire Batista campaign. We did one. Let's do another.
Yeah, fire. Yeah, just let's get so far out ahead if he's not even city manager yet.
Who would you have in that position, though? Who in the city right now could handle that much responsibility and do
No
it?
one in the city. Get somebody from outside of the city. Get away from this fucking swamp.
Yeah, unless it's true, like unless it's like
Doug Arbiter?
Yeah, well, yeah. We do need a villain, like a arch villain, city manager, not a secret villain like at Augustus. We need somebody that is really embracing the role of villainy, like Doug Arbiter does.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh my god, if it's Jay Anderson, I'll literally jump off.
Again, Che wouldn't. We've had conversations. He doesn't want to go back to City Hall. There was a lot of the politics nonsense, the interpolitics of politics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That's good.
Yeah, Cipro. That's exactly who we'd get.
Oh yeah, Cipro. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but we're not going to get anyone good, so it doesn't matter.
Unless we just keep doing roasts. I mean, I really do think that our results speak for themselves, guys.
Right. That's true. That's true. Me personally, I've done one roast and it's led to one resignation, so I'm 1 for 1 on that.
See?
Keep roasting.
Yeah.
Do we have to wait until next St. Patty's Day? Could we just do one every couple months?
We should do the roast of Maureen Benenda just cause.
That is correct, Maine South Mom. Ed did start as an interim and basically promised that he had no interest in the job and wasn't going to stay long term.
Yeah,
Here we are 8
looking
years
up
later.
I was looking up articles about when he was like initially named, and he was saying that he was only going to do it for like 8 months.
Yeah. And then just surprised and flattered that they offered him the job. And yeah.
Wow, yeah, wow. It's just so
Didn't angle for that at all.
Wow, it's just crazy that I've been doing such a great job at this job for 8 months. And oh wow, I might as well just stay on and continue to do it.
I mean, yeah, I'd be bad. It would be bad if I didn't do it. Who could do a better job?
Yeah.
So, well, only an hour and a half one tonight. This is a quick one.
Quick stream, yeah.
Did we end it?
I guess so. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about this Holden situation there in executive session for. Because because
I hope they take us for all we're fucking worth.
Yeah. I'd love to just annex Holden and make it a part of Worcester. And dude, what if we okay. So we annex Holden, we buy Holden in general, and then we use that as our experiment for what happens when you just completely get rid of single family zoning and no one there has any say in it whatsoever. And then we turn Holden into the first utopia in the United States against the best wishes of everybody who lives there. What do you guys think about that?
I love that. I love that.
Where can I vote for you?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna run for like Holden selectman on the
We should be bought by
single
Worcester.
issue campaign. Sell Holden to Worcester. Right?
Bill? Do you think you can get more votes than Aiden Kearney?
Yes. Easily.
Like, yeah, without even trying.
Yeah, I think I could. Yeah, he got like 600 votes for school committee. Fuck that. That's so stupid. But wait, income movement stay.
Sounds cool.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, UBI has a really good idea. Hey, wait, did you guys see that? Shit, I closed the tab out. But Dave Slatkin is the guy heading up the decriminalize mushrooms campaign.
Oh, is it really?
Hell yeah.
At Worcester City Hall. Yeah.
There's our next city manager.
The sharp dresser. The sharp dresser at public comment.
Already
He's literally
dressed for
the
the
guy
city
that's
manager.
like heading up this like ad hoc committee on decriminalizing mushrooms in Worcester. Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that.
I
He
love it.
definitely is
That's
our next city manager.
Yeah.
I'm
He's got my vote. He just like signs like a non-prosecution executive order. You can trip in public. Worcester cops aren't going to take your shrooms.
Have you heard? Did that go anywhere? Like in terms of conversation, Bill?
It doesn't know where to go. It's like they're like exploring the idea in basically like an academic way, but it has no bearing on state politics whatsoever.
No, not on the state level, but if they could instruct the local police department and just not arrest anybody for non.
Oh, I was throwing that out as like a bullshit idea. I didn't know that that's something you could actually do.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it would just be a mandate from the city manager, or the council to the city manager, basically saying that they're going to deprioritize on a local level any arrests that aren't for trafficking. So unless you had a trunk full of mushrooms, like you're good.
That's
and it
sick.
usually just kind of goes along with the regular stuff. Like when we decrimmed weed, like public intoxication still kind of is a gray area that you could run afoul of. But I mean, just leave your pants on when you're tripping and you should be fine.
In Worcester, you can have as many mushrooms as you want, but you cannot have one single nuclear weapon. I am sorry.
Yeah.
I'm cool with this. That's okay.
Yeah, right.
Deal. Fucking fair deal.
I probably shouldn't have nuclear weapons when I'm tripping balls anyway.
They tend to be a bad combination.
Yeah, right. Oh. Well, I suppose that's a good place to leave it. Don't have any nuclear weapons.
Yeah, so everybody should make sure to go and subscribe to Bill's. Oh, Brian, you're home. You could do this.
Yeah, check it out, everybody. BillShaner.substack.com. Worcester sucks, and I love it. The greatest newsletter of all time. The only newsletter with a body count. We got a 508 show about Worcester making its glorious comeback soon. Stay tuned, folks. You'll find out.
You guys released an episode on YouTube, right?
Yeah, one went up like a week ago, I think, and it's yeah. I mean, the sound is all off and video's not lined up, but whatever.
You gotta find Del Nevi, or however
Yeah.
you pronounce that.
We're gonna make it's gonna get going. You'll get it on track. I believe in you, Brendan. You guys should check out Parts Unknown. We got a big episode coming out this week. We're on the road to WrestleMania, everybody. It's coming up very soon. We got lots of WrestleMania episodes. Check them out, and we might be doing a stream of our own coming up WrestleMania weekend. Stay tuned for that. Check out Monday nights. You should be checking out. Oh well, you buried the lead there, but Worcester's Good But Hurts. Subscribe. Check it out on Patreon. You have to get it.
Hell yeah. Fun podcast.
It's my girlfriend's favorite podcast. Sorry, this
Every
American
other
Life.
podcast.
Yeah. And then Monday nights, Travis.
In
You're
April.
doing it, right?
In April.
Starting in April.
Yeah, Ricky
Monday
got
night,
sick.
starting in April.
Yeah,
Such a
Ricky,
time every week?
Ricky came into contact with the poop thing, but we're gonna heal him up. And then we're gonna get Seltzer Time live every Monday night. And guess what? We don't have an open mic anymore, so we can join in and hang out and jump in on the comments.
Yeah, it might turn
So
into just a party cast. Who knows?
it's gonna be great. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight and helping us destroy Ed Augustus. It's so satisfying. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And
Congrats, everybody.
Today is me and Jess's 4-year anniversary. This is the best gift either of us could have ever gotten.
Wow!
Thank you, Ed
Congratulations.
Augustus.
Yeah, he did it. Finally,
He
he
did
did
it
one
for
thing
you.
for me.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks to Sarah for including us in the Inner Circle Worcester Illuminati. And stay tuned next week, folks. We will be right back here inside that piss circle, you freaks. We love you guys. See you next Tuesday, everybody.